This year, we've taken it actually a step further. Back in 2008, we converted one of our Network Depot technicians into a full-time scripting guru. And basically what he did is he started building resources. So we now have about 300 pre-made scripts that we've created, a little bit more, that allow you to do all kinds of things. Stuff from like automatically auditing Adobe Reader or Java and creating a report to things like updating them, or things like, you know, installing software like 7-Zip, or I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. There's no way I could cover it all today, but these scripts have allowed us to really do some really cool stuff. So we put together a program called Club MSP, which is just starting. It's actually launching on Monday. We're going to do a soft launch with the beta to allow people to sign up who already have Kaseya or already have it in their, already have you know, an RMM in their business, and they can basically hop in, see the resources that we've created, download them for their business. And so you can find out a lot more about this. So the key parts of Club MSP are the scripts, obviously, which I just talked about. We also have training built in, so you can hire our team to come in and train you and your people on how, especially with Kaseya, how to use them, but also on MSP best practices. We've put in hours and hours of effort into how to do a best practice. You know, what's the best practice for updating your clients? What's the best practice for contacting your clients? What's the best practice for, you know, maintaining servers? What's the best practice? You know, when should you patch? When, you know, there's so many different questions and things that it's just good to get feedback on. You know, you're not alone in this, and that's something that we spent a lot of time trying to help with. We've also put together a ton of marketing materials that we just give away to our Club MSP members, which is pretty cool. And also, we have a pretty strong community, which is helpful. So, you know, you can communicate with some of our other people. These webinars, like the one we're doing today, are very common. We also have webinars with people like Gary Pica from True Methods. We bring them on probably about once a quarter. And lots of other people. And also we had Connect Booster. So, you know, there are lots of different opportunities that we try to make sure that you have the ability to get access to.
And I think what was so exciting, and I didn't mean to butt in on you here, but boy, I've learned lessons the hard way in my business. And any time I can, I mean, to relate it, I know not to touch a burner because my mom told me not to touch a burner, and she learned that because she didn't touch a burner. But somewhere down the line, they touched a burner, and you know, we don't necessarily always have to go through ourselves to gain the knowledge, you know, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel. And that's what I love about what you guys do. This stuff was born out of pain. You know what I mean? On your end,
really
you guys
is.
figured it out. And there's just so much that people don't have to deal with if they engage you guys. There's just so much of that just crap, for lack of a better term, that they don't have to deal with, which time costs money. Time's the asset that we can't get back. And I mean, it's just such a huge thing that you guys are doing for people. I didn't mean to butt in, but I get so darn excited about it when I find people like that are like-minded like us, and I just think there's just so much value wrapped up into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, there's a handful of companies. Excuse me. There's a handful of companies that kind of grew up with managed services. MSP Mentor, if you guys are familiar with that, has a list every year of the top 100 MSPs of the year and top 250 MSP professionals every year. And between 2006 and when it started, give or take, and 2011, it was all the same people. It was always the same people because the industry was so small. And it was this little group of people, and Chris Amori was on there. I unfortunately never tried to get on, but I should have. But you know, we had at least 2 people on there, and our company was always one of the top. they were just forging the way. And, so there's this handful of companies that really just made managed services what it is. They were the ones that were pushing the RMM tools to grow. They were the ones that were asking them for what they needed and trying to get the software to do what they wanted to do. And like I talked about it, we dedicated a guy just to scripting. I think he's still one of the only people in the world who works full time creating scripts for managed services companies. They don't exist. So yeah, it's absolutely true. It's just something that you don't want to sit there and spend time trying to learn Lua scripting. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
There's so many other
Correct.
things you can do. So that's where we really tried to fill that gap, and a lot of people save a lot of time doing that. So yeah.